welcome to the 2007 FIA European Drag Racing Championship. We're here at SantaPod Raceway for the finals of the championship.
Yeah, it's going to be a great day's action. We're going to be seeing all the action from top Methanol Funny Car. They're lining up behind us, ready to run. It's going to be a great day's racing. They fought hard all over Europe all season long. Time to crown the champion today. Also, top Methanol Dragster, another very hard-fought class indeed. It's all going to come down to the final round.
I'm Isla Hampson.
And I'm Daryl Bradford.
But before we go into the action, let's take a look around.
Thanks very much. Hello everyone, I'm John Price. Yes, we're back at SantaPod again for the final round of the FIA 2007 Championship. We're just 90 miles north of London. It's a great family weekend. The drivers absolutely adore it here.
SantaPod have a long history in drag racing, and here is where all the fans are.
The best track in the world, I think. Pod is perfect, and the crowd, everything.
It's really nice coming to an FIA meeting because I get to race the funny cars in the Methanol Championship.
It's a legendary racetrack, and the traction is always good, and now when the weather is good, we believe we can do some good times here.
Welcome to the first part of the show with top Methanol Funny Car. Now, I'm stood here with the defending champion, Ulf Leanders. Now, Ulf, you're lying third in points at the moment. Do you think you can defend your title?
We believe we can win the title. You know, we're 47 points behind, and what we're going to do right now is just go out there and do our own race and try to qualify first, try to get the low ET of event, and just do our best, and we believe it can be good.
Well, good luck, Ulf. Well, let's go over to another main contender, Leif Andreasen. Leif, you're number 2 in points at the moment. What do you think your chances are?
Oh, you know, we're here on a mission, and the mission is, of course, to win the championship, and that's what we focus at right now, and hopefully we will do it.
I'm sure you will. Fingers crossed for you, Leif. Well, let's go over to the main contender, Freddie Fagerstrom. Freddie, you're number 1 in points. It's all looking good. Do you think you can win the championship?
I hope so, but it's very hard to win. It's 4 cars, everybody can win, but if I was lucky.
I think you'll be lucky.
I hope so.
Me too. Well, let's go over to qualifying with top Methanol Funny Car.
She's such a smoothie, isn't she, that Isla? Anyway, here we go. Ulf Leanders looking for the number 1 qualifying spot. Didn't get it, unfortunately. A 581 got in position number 4. Dan Larsen, with his run of 578, was in 3rd spot. Position number 2 went to Circus Fagerstrom. That's this man in the black and flame car. Freddie Fagerstrom leading the championship of 572. But the number 1 man was the man sponsored by the Swedish Armed Services, Leif Andreasen. He took the number 1 spot with a 571. This is how it looks, but so close at the top end. It could be anybody's race. It could certainly be anybody's championship as well.
We're here in the top Methanol Funny Car pits with Sweden's Leif Andreasen. Now, Leif, standing next to me here, going to introduce you to the very important members of his team.
Okay, come on. This is Ville. Ville is working on the clutch and transmission on the car. Every single round they take out the clutch and the transmission, and he works together with Lars. Lars is also a very good guy on the clutch, and he knows what's going on there. And then we have Anders. Anders is working on the left side of the engine, on the top, on the valve train and the springs and everything. And Christian, he's the crew chief, actually watching everything that works out, and he also working on the right side of the engine. Now he's on the left too. And then we have Anders. This is the computer guy, checking the computer and do the tuning on the car, setting up the car for the next round. And then we have Henrik. He's the guy that works underneath the car with all the bearings, checking everything, and he's a very important guy. That's all.
Thank you very much indeed for the tour, Leif. Now it's time for the quarterfinals in top Methanol Funny Car.
I found that interesting. Right, okay. Daryl joins me in the commentary box. It's nice to know what all those guys do. I mean, there's a cast of thousands, but they all have their specific job to do.
Every one of them just as important as the driver, because they set the car up, and without them they all wouldn't be here. Leif Andreasen through into the semi-final, you saw there by that graphic. Unfortunately Steph broke in qualifying, so he took a solo run in the first round. Next quarter-final, Ulf Leanders against Jarmo Kootenheimi.
Well, Jarmo's car, absolutely beautiful. He's been a real surprise to me this weekend. Ended up in the number 5 spot with a 590, coming up against Ulf Leanders. And don't forget, Ulf is looking for the championship. He is the defending champion from last year and has carried that number 1 plate with great pride. I just wonder what's going to happen here. Kootenheimi really has stepped up to the plate a little bit more here this time.
Yeah, he certainly has. That car used to belong to Leif Andreasen, and he's running very, very well indeed with it. Down into the 5.9s this weekend in qualifying, but Ulf Leanders should be favourite based on previous form in this race. But as we say, drag racing, anything can happen. Oh, Jarmo has a problem off the starting line. Long way to come from Finland just for that to happen. And Ulf Leanders, a nice strong 6.06, bit off his usual pace, but I think the guys were trying something on that run there.
He'll take the win though. This is critical, this one. Yep, it's Freddie Fagerström, the man from Sweden, looking for that championship. Coming up against another one of these new contenders. The great thing for 2007 is that the number of top Methanol Funny Cars has increased, and Danny Bellio from Belgium is one of those men. Fast Freddie reversing back here. Darrell, I think by now he's the number 1 qualifier up against the number 7 qualifier in the shape of Danny Bellio, but already Freddie must be tasting the championship.
He certainly is. He's a very, very hard racer indeed. Been racing for years and years, chasing championships all over Europe. Hasn't managed to win it, but I think today could be his day. He's still got to beat Danny Bellio, though. Danny Bellio's been very close to running his first 5-second pass this weekend at SantaPod. Oh, and unfortunately, Danny pulls a red light. I think he must have seen it, so he shuts off. Freddie with a nice strong run down the right-hand lane, through the finish line with a 590 and on into the all-important semi-finals.
Yeah, well done to him. Right, now then, next pair, Dan Larsen. The man he's been around top Methanol Funny Car for so long, never won the championship, comes up against another new man into the class for the last couple of seasons is Kjell Sjöblom from Sweden. Now, with this, Dan Larsen was the number 3 qualifier, Kjell the number 6, and between them on their qualifying times, just like 0.2 of a second. So really, you could make that up on the start line.
Oh, you certainly could as well. I mean, both these guys have been nearly guys, if you like to call them that, in top Methanol Funny Car for some time now. Dan Larsen been trying really, really hard. Unfortunately, he always has some sort of problem which bites him and doesn't win the championship during the year, but it should be a great first round race. Both the way together. I think Dan Larsen with a slight hole shot. You can see out the window there of Kjell's car. Dan pulling away. What a tremendous view in the Protona car there. 6.03 for Kjell. Nice run, but Danny Larsen again on into the semi-final, and the crew looking rather happy with that one.
And this is how it looks then. So it is Leif Andreasen comes up against Ulf Leanders and Freddie Fagerström against Dan Larsen. So this is critical. Leif Andreasen against Ulf Leanders, and this really is going to set the tone for the championship, because if Leif Andreasen wants to overhaul Freddie Fagerström, he has got to take out last year's champion Ulf Leanders. Well, this is, you can feel the tension building between these two. The number of times these two guys have raced one another, I would think that on average it's even Steven. Don't forget, Leif Andreasen has been a champion a few times in this class in top Methanol Funny Car. Ulf Leanders just the once, but Ulf is the defending champion. In round number 1, Leif Andreasen broke the engine in his car in that Dodge, but it's all Ulf Leanders. He takes the win, 596 to a losing 6.03.
Jürgen, not your quickest run of the weekend, but you still take it in the final, yeah?
Yeah, we took it, but unfortunately we can't win the championship. We can't defend the championship, but we're going to do everything we can to win the race here.
Well, this is the new champion then. Leif Andreasen going out in that last round to Ulf Leanders means that Fast Freddie, here he is in all of his glory, is the 2007 champion. They're going to be celebrating a wee bit there, but he comes up against Dan Larsen. And of course, Larsen is now well aware that Freddie Fagerström is the champion 2007. What does he want to do? Well, he wants to beat the champion in his first ever race as champion, doesn't he? It's going to be interesting between these two as they come up to the start line. What's going to happen here? Is Freddie going to go out on a big, big high? Is he going to be the champion and win the event here? Here we come. The lights burn down. Freddie's now the champ, but he ain't going to beat Dan Larsen. Larsen takes it, a 5.81. Well done to him. He is the winner, but the champion, of course, is Fast Freddie.
Freddie, as a top Methanol Funny Car rookie, you've won the championship. Now, that must feel pretty satisfying.
Yeah, we are so happy. We have #1 qualifying in 3 races, and now we get lost this round, but we win in point leading, but no fun. We won't win the race, but that's racing.
Well, this is how it looks in the final then. It's Ulf Leanders against Dan Larsen. Last year's #1 against last year's #3. Should be an exciting race. Let's have some words from Dan Larsen.
Dan, congratulations. You're into the finals. Now you're going to be racing against Ulf Leanders. Are you going to beat him?
I will try to do what I can, but he is very fast also, so it'll be very exciting.
So you're feeling confident?
I'm feeling very good.
Well, Dan Larsen feeling very good there. Up against him in the final, defending European champion or outgoing champion, Ulf Leanders. This is going to be a rematch of last year's event final.
Ulf, you made it into the finals. Congratulations. Now you're going to be racing against Dan Larsen. What do you think your chances are?
I think the chances are good. The car ran a lot better now, and we're coming to almost the end of tire check. It was a little bit now, but just a little more adjustment, it will be fine.
Okay, so you're feeling confident you're going to have him?
Absolutely. We have a lot of people here. Iron Cat is here, some Haas people is here, and just great. And now we're going to go out there and try the best and win the race and do some good times as well.
Well, these two really battling for the positions numbers 3 and 4 in this year's championship. Now then, who's it going to be? Away from the start, a huge tyre shake for Ulf Leanders. It's Dan Larsen right the way through, takes the win with a 5.92. Extraordinary stuff from this man. Well done, Denmark.
Congratulations, Dan, on winning the race. Now, I believe you beat Ulf in the same race last year, didn't you?
Yeah, this is exactly the same. I'm very proud because he's a very strong competitor.
Indeed, but you've done very well. And how do you think Ulf's feeling about it?
You will always win, but just to go to the final, this is great.
Yeah, you've done incredibly well, and congratulations on getting this far.
Thank you very much.
Well, final standings in the 2007 FIA Top Methanol Funny Car Championships. Fredrik Fagerström, first year, on top with 238. Leif Andreasson, unfortunately, out in the semi-final. He was #2 at 225 and just 1 point behind Dan Larsen.
After the break, see all the drama and the championship decision in Top Methanol Dragster. Welcome back to part 2 of our programme. Now it's time for Top Methanol Dragster.
Standing here with the #3 man in points, Rob Turner. Now, Rob, home event for you this weekend. Very slim chance of winning the title, but do you think you can do it?
Yeah, it's very slim. I think Dave would have to go out in the first round for us to, and we'd have to win and probably set low ET. Really, I think we're racing for second place. There's 19 points between us and Peter, so I think it's all to play for second place, really.
Yeah, it should be a very, very entertaining weekend. Good luck. I hope you do really, really well. We're now going to have a quick word with that man, Dave Wilson. Man at the top of the pile again, Dave Wilson from England. Now, Dave, how do you think your chances are for the title this weekend at SantaPod?
Well, we're in the lead at the moment, and we just got to capitalise on that. Chances are anybody could win it. Well, not anybody, but quite a lot of people could win it. But we're in front at the moment, and we just got to keep on trying as we usually do. Not get carried away. I think we've got to go at least 2 rounds to guarantee winning. So first thing to do is get out there and qualify and see if we can do that. And the track this weekend might be quite good. So we're hoping we might be able to step the car up quite a bit.
So you can try and run hard. Well, it's going to be so much fun watching you guys. Good luck this weekend. Time to take a word from the German competitor, Peter Shaffer.
Peter, how do you see your chances for the title?
I would say around 10% at least.
Why?
In the rounds before, we are not good enough and don't have so many points as Dave.
Well, here we are. This is the Bavarian Thunderman, and he was only good enough this weekend. Very unusual for him. Only good enough with a 560 run to get the number 3 qualifying spot. Second spot for the final round of the year went to another Brit. Furthest away from the camera, it's Turner Racing, Rob Turner at the controls, and a 5:49. But he's always there. He's always number 1. He's the Silver Line Tools man. He is the champion of the preceding years. Dave Wilson, number 1 qualifier with a 5:45. The championship is within his grasp. This is how it looks. And Dave Wilson sits on top of the pile. Second spot, as I said, Rob Turner. Peter Shaffer languishes there in 3rd.
Number 1 qualified top Methanol Dragster, Dave Wilson. Now, I don't think you've done anything other than qualify number 1 this year, have you, Dave?
No, I'm glad to say you're quite right. Yeah, we were lucky to do it this time. We were number 3. I think in every other session we have been in front all the time. But we struggled on the first run and then we had an oil pressure problem. 3rd run it came right, so that was fine.
And this is how it looks. Dave Wilson, because he is that number 1 qualifier, the lucky lad, gets a bye into the 2nd round.
Yeah, I think that was part of the plan for the Silverline Tools team. Qualify number 1, knowing there was only going to be a 7-car field. Number 1 qualifier gets a bye into the semi-final. Greatly helps his chances of wrapping up the title, John.
I tell you, this is going to be an interesting one, though, here, Darryl, between these two. Paul Inge Utian from Norway coming up against young Timo Habermann from Germany. Both of these guys comparatively newcomers into the class, and they're both doing so well here this weekend. They were the numbers 4 and 5 qualifiers. Paul Inge with a 564, Timo Habermann with a 574, so just a 10th in it.
Yeah, it should be very close indeed. Now, both of these guys have raced in previously in sportsman categories, I should say. Paul Inge Utian, a previous champion down in Super Comp, which is a very, very hard-fought class. Really, really good on the lights. As you can see there, leaves Timo Habermann on the line and pulling away until something goes wrong with the Islanders car. And Timo Habermann, 574. Nice run for the guys from Germany there. As you can see, the team very happy indeed, high-fiving. Unfortunately, that'll be the end of the season for Paul.
Yeah, indeed, but a good run from Timo, just reflected what he did during qualifying. Next pair then. Hey, the history with these two is unbelievable. When I first came to the sport in the early 80s, 1981, Rob Turner was in an altered. This man, Christer Johansson, was in a top Methanol Dragster, and he's still there doing it today, albeit in a completely different type of machine.
Yeah, this is an A-fuel dragster, runs injected nitro. When the combination's right, it flies. Unfortunately today, it's not going to be. Rob Turner really doing well with this car this weekend, runs another 5.4, 5.48. Team very, very happy with that one indeed. They've been threatening to get down into the 5.4s again, and they've done it.
Well, here we are. Peter Shaffer, number 3 qualifier, up against Derek Flynn. Derek, new boy into the class. I hope you'll like me saying that about him. I'm sure he will. With his gold RV dragster. And he was our number 6 qualifier, ran a 6.13. The team have been searching for a 5-second run all weekend. Of course, the man from Germany, Peter Shaffer, locked into the 6s. Normally we see Peter down in the 5.4s.
Yeah, they've been running a little off their usual pace. Derek Flynn really up against it with a gold RV car here. Wants to run a 5-second pass, mainly so he can lose his hair. Derek has a world-famous ponytail that he's going to get cut off if he runs a 5-second run, but unfortunately he won't do it on this run. Double steps the throttle and red lights, unfortunately, so he gets to keep his hair. Peter Shaffer with a 5.62. Nice run for the Bavarian team, but a little bit off, I think, what they'd like to be running. A little bit off the numbers for them.
Yeah, indeed. So this is how the semi-finals look then. Dave Wilson against Timo Habermann and Rob Turner against Peter Shaffer. 2 English-German battles going on here. It's the first one then. Dave Wilson looking to become the champion yet again. If he gets past Timo Habermann, he is going to be the 2007 champion. It's all to play for here. Wouldn't it be wonderful for young Timo? He's only a lad, of course. Wouldn't it be wonderful for him if he turned into a giant killer on this one, took out Dave Wilson, and may well ruin Dave's chances to become champ again?
Well, it's fair to say, without giving too much away, Dave's got roughly 40 years on Timo Haber. So he's got, Dave's got an awful, so will youth and exuberance overcome age and experience, definitely in this case. Both pulling into stage. Oh, dearie me.
Red light for Timo.
Yeah, Timo trying a little bit too hard there. Dave Wilson still drives all the way around him with that, fantastic run from the Silver Line car. He takes the championship, I believe.
Now he's the 2007 champion. So unlucky, Daddy Haberman. But with this red light, he hands the championship to Dave Wilson.
Dave, you've made history, 5 times European champion. How do you feel?
Well, absolutely great, needless to say. It wasn't for the crew and it wasn't for the sponsors like Silver Line Tools, PlayStation 3, IronCAD, Lucas Oils, all the other people who support us. We wouldn't be here at all. But they've all helped us. We've been doing this 5 years in a row now. I don't know where it's going to stop.
Well, maybe it won't. I look forward to seeing you next year and more excitement. It's fantastic to watch you on the track today.
Great to be here. Thank you very much.
Well done, Dave. And Rob Turner now finds himself up against Peter Shaffer, and Rob said at the outset of the programme he was going to be battling for the number 2 spot in the championship, and I think this is what we've come down to here, Daryl.
Yeah, I think so. These two guys have been battling across Europe the whole season long. Carmel, that's Rob's wife there, backing the car up into the tyre tracks laid down by the burnout. This should be a great race between these two. They both have been running pretty close together, but Rob's down in the 5.4s.
Don't forget, Rob's been a champion in the past, as well as Peter Shaffer. Shaffer's been champ, so really it's the battle of the champs, and Rob's brother Steve there saying, you've got to win this one, really punching the air. Here we go then, up to the start line.
Yeah, both pulling into stage, edging from pre-stage into full stage. The revs come up on these two cars. It's going to be close away from the line, and Peter Shaffer, oh my goodness, I think Rob scared him. He pulls a red light, runs 5.61, but Rob again down in the 5.4s with a 5.48. Tremendous weekend for the Turner team.
Rob, congratulations. You're into the finals. Now you're up against a hard man to beat. Dave Wilson, now he's won 5 times in a row. Are you going to be the first man to beat him?
I surely hope so. The car's performed really well this weekend. It's ran quicker every run. The last one, it just repeated 5.48, our quickest run ever, fastest speed ever, and it's going to be a close final.
What a great weekend for the Turners, Daryl? All of those best evers, and finds himself up in the final against Dave Wilson. They're both running in the 5.4s. This could literally be anybody's race. It makes a change to see the two Brits in the final.
I was just going to say that. England beat Germany in both semi-finals. If we could repeat that sometime in the next few years, it'd be really, really, really great. But, Dave Wilson up against Rob Turner. Now, unusually for Dave, doesn't come into the final with a performance advantage. He normally is very, very quick, very, very consistent, and normally quicker than everyone else. It's a measure of how successful he's been that it's a surprise that he's not the quickest guy coming into the final. Rob Turner is, but the Turner boys really been on it this weekend, pulling into stage again with the revs up, all important off the starting line, get a good reaction time, and it's Dave Wilson away first. My goodness, he won't mind me saying we don't see that often, and he keeps that lead all the way down to take a whole shot win. 5.49 to 5.48. The man finds a way to win no matter what the car's running like. But again, superb performance from them and a great final from the two English guys.
And this is how it finished up then. It is Dave Wilson who's the champion for the 5th time in a row. Rob Turner gets that number 2 spot, and Peter Shaffer number 3.
Well, that's all we have time for here at SantaPod. It has been an incredible couple of days.
Oh, the sun has shone, the crowds have been here. Top Methanol Funny Car, the guy behind us, Freddie Fagerstrom, first full season on the tour, takes the title. A real nail-biter. Came down to the final round here at SantaPod. Also, Top Methanol Dragster, Dave Wilson, 5 in a row now. Wonderful race in the final with Rob Turner, but he goes home with the FIA trophy for 2007.
Make sure you join us again for 2008.